Final round. Missed question corrections. Part 3. Formulas. Resistance formula. R equals amps times volts. 8 amps, 120 volts, equals 15 ohms. True power of circuit, equals amps, times volts, times COS, times 17.73. True power of circuit, equals amps, times volts, times COS, times 17.73. Transformer full load rating equals kVA divided by primary or secondary voltage. 100,000 VA divided by 120 volts, equals 832 amps. Apparent power equals amps, times volts, times 1.732. 54 amps, times 240 volts, times 1.732, equals 22,450. Motor run cost. Usage, times cost, times hours, equals 2.4 kW, times 15 cents, times 10 hours, equals $3.60. Motor usage in kW. Amps times volts. 15 amps, times 240 volts, equals 3,600 watts or 3.6 kW. Current. Volts divided by resistance is current. 12 volts, divided by 2 ohms, 6 amp current. Voltage. Current, times resistance. 6 amps, times 3 ohms, equals 18 volts. Power. Amps squared, times voltage. 5 amps squared, times 4 ohms, power is 100 watts. Power rating. Amps, times amps. 24 volts, times 6 amp current, equals 144 watts. Motor usage. 120 volt motor, draws 5 amp current. 120 volt times 5 amp current equals 600 watts. 240 volt single phase motor, resistive load of 8,500 watts, what is current? 8,500 watts divided by 240 volts, current of 35 amps. 240 volt single phase motor, resistive load of 8,500 watts, what is current? 8,500 watts divided by 240 volts, current of 35 amps. Watts. Ohms, times amps. 10 ohm resistances, carrying 10 amps, uses 1000 watts. Watts. Ohms, times amps. 10 ohm resistances, carrying 10 amps, uses 1000 watts. Resistance. Watts, divided by volts. 1500 watt, 120 volt, resistance is 12.5 ohms. Resistance. Watts, divided by volts. 1500 watt, 120 volt, resistance is 12.5 ohms. 1 horsepower equals 746 watts. What size motor to make 30 kW? 40 HP. 30,000 watts times 746, equals 40 horsepower. How many watts from 15 horsepower motor? 11 kW. 15 times 746 equals 11 kW. What is output of 5 HP motor at 480 volts? 5 HP times 746, equals 3.75 kW.